In previous videos we've shown how you can place a map control on a dialog component and then call methods of the map control object to add markers to the map. In this video we're going to show a simple application in which we use these features of the map control. So you can see here we have a simple dialog with a map object, and then we have a drop down box that shows a list of all of the states, and when we choose a particular state, what we're going to do is do an Ajax callback to the sample airports database, which is a SQL Server database. It's got 6,000 records approximately with every single airport in the United States. And so now we're going to make an Ajax callback and get all of the airports in California and then plot those airports on the map, and then for each marker, when you click on the marker, you can see we display the city name of the airport. So basically that's where that particular airport is located. And now let's go and choose, for example, Georgia, and now we switch to Georgia and we're displaying all the airports in Georgia. Let's go now to Montana, and you can see that there's a surprisingly large number of airports in Montana. Let's try Rhode Island. Very few airports in Rhode Island. And continuing with Puerto Rico, there's all the airports in Puerto Rico. So let's take a look now at how this particular application was built. So first I'm going to go back to working preview, and rather than choosing that drop down over there, I'm going to go and just simply click this button over here, and you can see that populates all the airports in California. So let's go back now and actually look at that button. So this, but if we go there to buttons and just look at the on-click event of that button, you can see we're calling a function called bulk markers. And then if we go over to JavaScript and look at the bulk markers function, we can see here that we've essentially hand-coded a JavaScript script that gets a pointer to the map control, and then calls the addMarker method of the map control object once for every single airport in California. So you can see this method gets called 401 times, and each time we call it, we basically specify the marker name, which is marker 1, marker 2, marker 3, and then the latitude and longitude, and then in the settings field we pass in the group name. So we're putting all of the markers in the same group called MG1, and then we're specifying that the marker has detail and that the data to display in the marker is the city name over there. So there's the actual marker data being displayed over there. So this is the JavaScript that we want to execute, but obviously we need some method to generate this JavaScript automatically. So now let's go back to controls and look at the state control here, which is a drop down. So there's the drop down box over there, and the choices in the drop down are all of the states in the United States, which we populated by just choosing from a built-in list over here. We chose one of the predefined lists, so we didn't actually have to type in the 50 state names. And then what we did was we went to the onChange event of this drop-down control over here, and we specified that when the value in the control changes, we'd like to do an Ajax callback, and the Ajax callback should call an XBasic function called getMarkers. So now let's go and take a look at the XBasic function. So go to XBasic functions, and here's our XBasic function. You can see it's actually a very short function. So let's look at the code here. So the first thing that you can see is that we've defined a template over here that looks very much like the JavaScript that we're going to be generating, and the template basically has placeholders in it for the latitude, the longitude, and also the city name, and also this value over here, which is a counter that goes up by 1 every time. So let's go back now to the XBasic. So you can see that to the placeholder for latitude is curly bracket and then data source dot data and then latitude, and we've had to escape the double quotes there because we're in double quote, otherwise this would not be a valid XBasic string, because we're defining an XBasic string over here. So we've got the latitude placeholder, the longitude placeholder,